Thank you, Nancy. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to speak to you today. I've been asked to speak about the past and what I consider are the most important elements that have made Whistler successful. I have to start this discussion with a look back to 1975 when the municipality was incorporated. Remember, there was no village, only one mountain, and the place could best be described as rugged. The newly formed council were operating out of the mayor's basement and having some very mind-expanding conversations. They had inherited a real estate rodeo where every developer in town was seeking approval for their own village. And in fact, there were 5 villages at one point being proposed throughout the valley. It was quite nasty, with delegations to Victoria protesting this new municipality. First on their agenda was to figure out how big this place was going to be. It was necessary to get some idea so they could size the sewer pipe that ran from Function to the village and beyond. The conversation went like this. Let's assume that one day we have 30,000 skiers per day. Add 1 non-skier for every 3 skiers, and bingo, that's 40,000 beds. It was a wild guess 43 years ago, but it's amazing that we just went over 30,000 skier visits last year. I thought that was pretty interesting. The next big decision was the village. Fortunately for us, Al Rain had visited every ski area on the universe, and hence he and his other cohorts on council and a lot of help stole every good idea from Europe and the United States. The Resort Municipality of Whistler Act also provided for a central marketing body with vast powers. Tourism Whistler has been essential to the success of this resort, and places like Vail and Aspen would love to have such an organization with its mandatory taxing powers. That has never been done again in BC. Warm beds was another very unique idea that was developed by these 5 people in a basement in 1975. U.S. resorts struggle to keep a critical mass of dedicated hotel units for people, as there are no restrictions, and once the units are paid for, they typically come out of the rental pool. Whistler doesn't have that problem. We have a good supply of public beds year-round due to the Phase 1 and the Phase 2 covenants. There was an acknowledgement then that the community had to be an integral part of the resort. The first village parcels, which are right here, were very, very small, and they were done that way basically to try and encourage local developers to get involved, and they did to some degree. And in the early days of the village, the retail offering was very mom and pop, which was great, and we missed that dearly. But I believe the integration of the community in the resort is one of our strengths today. I often say that this is the most planned community in the world, and I believe it. The attention to good planning and the strategic delivery of real estate over time allowed developers to make better decisions and to invest at a higher level with the confidence that their investment would be protected. Quite frankly, I'm always amazed how these initial deliberations in a basement have allowed us to succeed and stay the course through some very tough times. For example, in 1982, the village was just starting and Canada went into a nasty recession. Whistler was a casualty of 22% interest rates. Concrete and rusty rebar was prevalent in most of the village. No one was buying condo hotels or any real estate for that matter. A sign went up in Function that said, "With the last one out, please turn out the lights." It was bad. But fortunately, the province was so heavily invested in this project that they had to step in and provide financing to complete the golf course and the conference center. This was originally going to be an ice arena. I come in here every now and then, I still hear that na 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 na, you know. Anyways, we were probably a little early to get an ice arena. So anyways, it became a conference center at great cost. But many people suffered those 82 to 85. It It was very tough times, lots of people who drank the bath water and believed in Whistler and this was going to work. They were here, they were so invested they couldn't leave. And it was tough times for everybody. But in the end, the fundamental principles kept us alive and took us to where we are today. One of the bigger mysteries of this town has always been bed units. What are they? How are they controlled, etc.? Well, back to the 40,000 people in 1975. 2 beds per hotel room, 4 beds per condo, 6 beds per single family or duplex. It was a rudimentary measure, but is still very relevant today. You will not find mention of bed units in any of our zoning bylaws. There's a ledger in the municipal hall somewhere that keeps track of where we're at. Unlike all other municipalities, any real estate approved after 1975 had to provide significant community benefit. And most of the things that we play on today were as a direct result of incentives provided by the municipality for development. Given the nature of Whistler, there's no way that it could operate like other municipalities. There has to be controls on the development. Our visitors will not come from a city to a city for recreation. Going forward, small adjustments will have to be made to take advantage of opportunities, deal with our housing crisis, and to keep the resort fresh. But generally, I believe the footprint is substantially complete. Thank you very much.